So, the other day I was playing Minecraft and I made a mob spawner, mob trap, and it actually turned into be something pretty big. I wanted to share it with you. Check it out. So, this is all based, well, let me show you it first. It's pretty massive. I did this in a world edit mod for 1.6.4. It'll, I mean, I don't see why it won't work for Survivor or anything. But as you can see, I got my 144 by 144 space cleared out all the way down to the bedrock. I got fences up so a-holes don't migrate into my area. And, well, I guess you could spawn down there because I just saw a Enderman. Anyway, they all spawn up here in this upper part and they go using water. They get pushed down and further down, and then they fall their 24 plus spaces to their deaths, landing on these here hoppers, and all this stuff falls out of their pockets and goes inside the hoppers, which is cool for me because I sometimes like the stuff that falls out of their pockets. Down here I have your basic item sorting system with all the extra stuff going into these last boxes that you can find a tutorial online on how to make that, but I'm going to go inside and show you how this looks. Look at all these guys falling. I'm going to be using my night vision so you can see what the hell's going on. It's pretty basic from here if you look at it. I mean, this is basic. I'm in a biome that causes water to freeze, which is why I have these torches set up there so the water doesn't freeze. But here you go. This is it. As you can see, the water flows to the very edge and then it turns itself off. It's actually on for 25% of the time and off for 75% of the time. That right there is a little issue I have. Yeah, I have to break it. When I was cloning this stuff in MC Edit or World Edit, I was having some issues with the the sticky piston's not pointing the right way, which I think is a common issue. Maybe, who knows. But there you go. That's how it works. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 platforms per floor for a total of 12 per room, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe 6 rooms. Which is 12 times 6 platforms. Not going to do the math. 72? I don't know. Possibly. But yeah, pretty crazy. So I'm going to show you later on in the video the individual parts and how they work. I'm not going to do a tutorial on how to build it. That's kind of something you got to figure out on your own. But as you can see, it drops a whole mess of bad guys. I really like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. Splat. Yeah, I gotta apologize. I'm in Denver right now traveling, so I don't have my microphone with me. I'm using my laptop microphone. But here you are. Here's the different pieces and parts. We'll start with the basic platform, one single platform. I'm going to use this switch to move a sticky piston, which will allow water to flow. And as you can see, the water will flow exactly to the edge and not spill over. So any mobs that spawn on that platform are going to get washed over the edge and land into the lower levels, which is basically the transit system. Now, how do you get the one piston to control 3 levels of water? Well, this is how. I used glass and some lighted blocks so you can see how it flows. It's really basic. It's really simple stuff. There's nothing hard about this. Pretty basic, huh? And then it goes to all the platforms. Look at that. Piece of cake, right? But I'm using a lever to actuate the water, and I'm not going to be sitting there with a lever. You know, I want this thing to be automatic, so I need to build a circuit, a timing circuit, to get this thing to work. It actually takes a while for the water to go away. The water actually goes faster than it turns off. It turns off a lot slower. But this is my, it's a flip-flop, and a timered flip-flop that has a 25% duty cycle. and for one side and a 75% for the other side. I'm just showing both sides in case you want to use either side. It doesn't matter. But as you can see, the side that's off right now is powering the side that's on. That's how that works. So they're going to be opposite of each other. But I'll show you how this thing works. It starts over here in the back. A little basic hopper timer. You can find some. Tutorials on how to build this. It's really basic. It just drops up. The hoppers are pointing at each other, and they're like pooping sand on each other. Every time it runs out, that piston energizes and slides the power over to the other side. So I'm going to tap off of that power. So it's like a trigger, right? Whenever it gets to one side, I'll tap off, and I'll go to another flip-flop. And these are usually negative, what do you call it? Negative, I can't think. Negative pulse width. You know, the lowering side of the pulse. That's what actuates it. So it's on when this top part turns off. That's when the thing slides, and so basically this is going to be twice half of the frequency of the hopper timer, and its output's going to go over here to a comparator, but in subtract mode. But I'll show you that later. The output over this goes to the third hopper. And this third hopper's frequency is going to be half of the previous, or not hopper, flip-flop. It's going to be half of the previous flip-flop, which is half of the flip-flop before the hopper timer. So in reality, it's like you're multiplying by 8 or 16. I can't remember. Can't remember at all. But that comparator, its subtraction is going to come off the second flip-flop, and the third flip-flop is going to be what's going to try to drive. So basically, in a nutshell, if you set it up, you can see how the math works. I'm not going to draw a schematic, but it's just 75% of the time that thing's not going to, it's going to be sending out a signal. The other part it's not. So over here in these middle buildings, these tall middle buildings on each side, that's where I have that circuit. And I have runs of redstone and repeaters that go all the way around. Pretty basic stuff. This is the first setup for the tables inside. You can see how the redstone is going to go right up to those sticky pistons and actuate on and off the water. And you can see right here, here's a sideways view for the middle sticky piston water supplies. Really basic stuff. It's just I combined everything together to make this really huge, massive mob spawner. And it's really good because you don't have to wait for them to walk around and fall. The water will do the trick. Now I didn't get this idea on my own as far as using water to knock the mobs down. I'm gonna try to find the video where I got the idea from and put it in the description. If I can't find it, I'm sorry. It was really a long time ago when I saw this video. But this is kind of an improvement on it because in his video he actually operated a lever to get the water to go. This is a fully self-running, self-sufficient, well, not entirely, because if you look, I got a witch in there. So I had to install a little lava switch over here on the right. Got a couple of witches. When I flick on this switch over here on the right, look at all those mobs. Then up there in the top, you'll see it. Here comes some lava, and it's ready to come down. You don't need it on that long, because then the lava will come down. Those mobs fell in the lava, so they survived the fall, almost like falling in the water, but how come it's not getting those witches? That's making me angry. Anyway, there you go. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Adios.